Welcome to episode 30 of the Security Matters podcast, where we bring you the latest news, views, and opinion from across the UK's dedicated security business sector. My name's Brian Sims, and I'm the editor of Security Matters magazine. We're delighted that this podcast is sponsored by the Security event, which runs at the NEC in Birmingham from the 30th of April until the 2nd of May 2024. Security Matters is once again serving as the lead media partner for the exhibition. To register for the show, visit www.thesecurityevent.co.uk. The government has recently opened a 6-week consultation process on new laws designed to make sure the nation is better prepared for and also protected from terrorist attacks. The new laws will scale up preparedness for acts of terrorism, making sure members of the public are protected without placing unnecessary burdens on smaller businesses. Martin's Law, in the shape of the Terrorism Protection of Premises Bill, will require premises to fulfil necessary but proportionate steps according to their capacity in order to help keep the public safe. The legislation, of course, is named in tribute to Martin Hett, who was killed alongside 21 others in the Manchester Arena terror attack of 2017. Under the proposed law, premises will be considered standard tier where there's a capacity of between 100 and 799 people, or enhanced tier for those venues where there's the potential for a capacity of 800 plus. The consultation on the updated approach to standard tier venues seeks views to make sure the new requirements do not place undue burdens on smaller businesses while still protecting members of the public. The consultation procedure itself is open to the public until 18th of March. In particular, views are being sought from those responsible for smaller premises, and especially so those operating in the community and voluntary sectors. As set out in the consultation, the updated requirements for smaller businesses are centred around outcomes rather than processes. For example, it will remove the requirement to complete any specific terrorism training. Instead, those responsible for these premises will be asked to put in place procedures such as evacuation and lock-ins in the event of an attack. The new, reasonably practicable approach is, according to the government, better suited to the wide range of organisations resident within the scope of standard tier, because they'll assess and implement procedures that are suitable to their individual circumstances. The government has stated that a Martin's Law regulator will be established to monitor compliance and also advise the managers of premises within scope of the legislation. Premises within standard tier will be required to notify the regulator that they are within the scope of this legislation. Following the conclusion of the consultation process, the Terrorism Protection of Premises Bill will be introduced as soon as parliamentary time allows. Security Minister Tom Tugendhat has commented, "I want to make sure that our proposals are balanced and proportionate. That's why our updated approach is easy to implement and better tailored to individual businesses. I would encourage those presiding over smaller premises to share their feedback on these crucial changes. That feedback will help to ensure that Martin's Law stands the test of time." Our first guest on episode 30 is Barrie Millett, Director of Special Projects and Industry Engagement at Mitie Security. A former Royal Marine, Barrie is a specialist in the field of security resilience strategy, having worked for international organisations including GE and E.ON. Across the years, Barrie has fashioned bespoke security solutions in a range of sectors, among them finance and telecoms. Importantly, Barrie was an early adopter of the convergence agenda that brings together cyber and physical security programs. An Honorary Life Vice President of ASIS International's UK chapter, Barrie joined Mitie back in April 2020. During our interview, Barrie looks at career paths for today's professionals and also the roadmap for the sector in the immediate future. Thank you very much for joining us on the Security Matters podcast, Barrie. You've been resident in the security sector for several years now, of course. And on that basis, how would you sum up the key parts of your journey to date?
Thank you, Brian, for having me on your podcast first. So I guess varied, challenging, rewarding, and I guess more importantly, every day lights a fire in my body. So that's enabled me to really embrace the sector and the work that I do, and it's not really a job, Brian, getting up every day. I thoroughly enjoy what I'm doing, and I guess the Royal Marines gave me an incredible foundation to start off with, and I still live the commando spirit now, which is courage, determination, unselfishness. And one of the key ones, which I know a lot of people always comment on, is cheerfulness in the face of adversity. And I've really used that as a foundation, Brian, in everything that I do, and I still use it as a foundation now, both in my private life, but also in work as well. And that's really helped me to grow in various roles, from consulting when I left the Corps through to leading security and resilience teams in multinational organizations. And that really enabled me to help organizations face up to key challenges. I remember early days in GE when there was a number of terrorist incidents, both in the UK and across the globe as well. Sort of my grounding in the Royal Marines and having that ability of courage and also cheerfulness in adversity helped me to enable those leadership teams to come through those challenging times. And I guess also assisting in getting the trust of those leadership teams to buy into the security programs that I developed over the years. And I've always had a thirst to grow, whether that's developing my leadership style at an early stage and recognizing the need to utilize others to help you grow. So engaging a leadership and development coach to give me a totally different perspective on life, and also the tools to be able to grow myself and make a difference in the communities that I supported. But also, I think, Brian, it's also enabled me to support others to grow as well, both in my teams that I've led over the years, but also in the associations that I belong to, such as ASIS International, because I think, helping others to grow and go along the journey with you sort of brings a little bit more richness into your life as well. So yeah, so very challenging, rewarding, and definitely still lights a fire in my body now.
And what do you believe to be the key challenges for those individuals making the transition from the military to the corporate world? And what single piece of advice would you offer them?
Yeah, I think those that have been have found it challenging in the transition, and Brian, it really is challenging moving from a regimented lifestyle in whatever force that you belong to into the civilian world. It can be and is very challenging, but I think not preparing and realizing life is really different in the corporate role, a corporate world is a big challenge for some, but also not recognizing that they have some great transferable skills that corporate organizations are hungry for as well. And I believe those who have transitioned successfully have done so by seeking out a mentor or coach that has perhaps gone on that journey previously as well. And we've all made mistakes along the way. And if, people like myself can coach and mentor people and make them aware of some of the pitfalls, but also give them the tools to be successful, I think, these people have some fantastic second careers ahead of them. But yeah, making sure that they prepare and realizing life is really different is one of the key challenges that they will have to overcome, but also making sure that they recognize that they do have some key transferable skills as well.
And how important do you think it is for the security sector to attract entry-level individuals who can then build a long-term career?
Sometimes people view entry-level roles as a last choice rather than a start to a career. And there are lots of examples, and I'm one of those examples where if you're willing to really go all in, and you can develop a successful career. Look, I left school with 2 O-levels, art and metalwork, no degree, but a belief that I could make a success in the security sector. And I believe that the sector needs to provide more insights and opportunities to draw in those entry level individuals. So really celebrating key successes within the sector and really outlining those different career paths that people could undertake in the sector. and showing some case studies as well, where they can actually see and believe that the security sector is a really good sector to work in. We need to recognise that we definitely need to attract people for long-term career and not as a job of last choice.
And on that note, Barry, what do you feel the security sector needs to do in order to attract more talented individuals to its ranks and also ensure that talent is then retained?
Look, there's lots of different initiatives that are working in isolation. But I think we need to drive forward initiatives such as those being developed by the Skills Board to ensure a comprehensive, accessible and consistent framework of learning is available in the security sector. And people are aware of it as well, providing a pathway for private security career development and developing and demonstrating real growth opportunities for individuals. And then I think ensure that those various security associations provide a true platform for up and coming talent to thrive, and also a platform for them to be heard. As I mentioned, there's a number of individual initiatives out there now, and another one is the professional security operative apprenticeship scheme that has been launched this year, and I think is a great step forward in providing a route for those wanting to join the sector. But also, more importantly, it gives some additional opportunities for those that are already in the sector wanting to progress their individual development. But I think, organisations must embrace and also promote these initiatives a little bit more than they are at the moment. And also go all in to make sure that they're a success. Look, Brian, we had caught up probably must be 4 or 5 years ago now, when I had a role in Birmingham. In that role, managed to attract 2 school leavers into an apprenticeship scheme that we were developing in that organisation, specifically with a bias on cybersecurity. But those individuals really embraced that opportunity, and I still keep in touch with them periodically now, and they're still growing and being successful as individuals. So I think apprenticeship schemes where we all get behind, we all put a lot of effort and drive to make sure that they're successful, can provide a huge platform for people leaving school to develop themselves as individuals, but also develop in the security sector. And we need that, Brian.
In your opinion, Barry, what's the immediate roadmap for the security sector, and also what might it look like in, say, 5 years' time?
Well, I think, as I've just highlighted, look, we need to successfully deliver those initiatives that I've just highlighted, and under a number of others as well. We need to come together and ensure the government lands Martin's Law with minimal amendments, and we need to do as much as we can to drive forward collaboration across the security sector, but also making sure that collaboration grows in the public and private spaces as well. And we need to step forward and support police forces with non-warranted activities. There's more that the sector can do to free up police officers to go about those more specialised warranted activities as well. If the sector does these things and more, I totally believe that the security sector will take pride of place in ensuring our communities are safe and able to withstand some really key challenges that I believe will continue to materialise over the coming years, to be honest. And Brian, I think failure is not an option. I think society is going to go through some incredible challenges going forward, and the sector needs to step up and help our communities face up to those challenges.
And what legacy would you like to leave behind as a security professional yourself?
I've always battled with self-limiting beliefs that perhaps I'm not able to do something, or I'm not worthy of what I'm doing now. And I always remember Catherine always saying to me I could do more. And when I was at a crossroads in sort of transitioning out of sort of Royal Marine stroke consultancy work into corporate life, I used to say to Catherine that I'm not corporate enough to be successful. But then, she coached me through it. She worked for Mars at the time, a big American organization, and I managed to land a job with GE. But yeah, even today, I sometimes have to continue to try and break down some of those self-limiting beliefs, to be honest. Legacy. I guess anything is possible if you put your mind to it, and I think I've demonstrated that over the years, and I'll continue to do that. I think I've come from humble beginnings and have carved out a successful career. But I've done that always with the thought that I put my family first as well, Brian, and my family has enabled me to continue to drive forward and be successful. And I hope that I've played some small part in developing people and enabling the sector to be seen as a career of choice and not last resort. I think that's the key thing that I want to play a big part on and provide as a bit of a legacy when I eventually hang up my gloves, so to speak.
Nicholas Whiting, the head of alarm signalling solutions provider BT Redcare, has informed the security market, i.e. security installation businesses and alarm receiving centre operators, of BT's difficult decision to close all BT Redcare operations on the 1st of August 2025. Announced on the 1st of February, the move has been driven by a new strategy focused on reducing product variance and the desire to invest in those core products and services that will deliver for the customer base. In a formal communication to interested parties, Whiting explained, "We will of course continue to meet our commitments to provide services for orders already placed, but please take this as formal notice that your agreement with us, including all orders placed for the provision of BT Redcare services, will terminate on the 1st of August 2025, or earlier if your services are contractually due to expire before then, or if you migrate your services away from BT Redcare before the 1st of August 2025. Whiting fully appreciates that this will not be welcome news, which is precisely why there's a stated desire to afford impacted parties of the cut-off date as soon as possible. On the basis that it will take time for Redcare users to find an alternative service provider, BT will continue to accept orders up to and including the 29th of February this year, but that's on the express condition that no services will continue to be provided beyond 1st of August 2025. Installers and alarm receiving centre operators will now need to consider moving all of their customers using BT Redcare services to an alternative service provider by no later than 1st of August 2025. To assist with that process, BT will waive any early termination charges from the 1st of March 2024 for all orders already placed before the 1st of February this year and where BT Redcare services are already being provided. In terms of ordering replacement equipment or devices moving forward, the advice given by BT is to telephone 0800 800 628, that's 0800 800 628, and look for option 3. Critical Connectivity Solutions provider CSL issued an immediate response to the Redcare news on the 2nd of February. The company explained, "We are working to finalise the details of our plan to ensure we can support all impacted installers and alarm receiving centres, many of whom are existing CSL partners. We are firmly committed to extending our current operation to ensure the alarm signalling ecosystem continues to receive the highest levels of service and support, and also that end users are not negatively impacted by these changes." Further, CSL noted, "We are currently reviewing our stock management processes alongside our supplier partners to ensure that we can adjust our plans in order to deal with an increase in demand. We would encourage installers to review their engineer resources and processes around performing any required upgrades as part of a structured program alongside maintenance visits." Additionally, CSL is actively working with industry stakeholders, including the British Security Industry Association, the National Security Inspectorate, and also the Security Systems and Alarms Inspection Board, duly providing assurances to these bodies that the company is doing everything it can to offer a solution to this industry situation. In conclusion, the statement on CSL's website reads, "We will provide further updates on our plans in due course." Indeed, the BSIA has also issued a statement on its LinkedIn page. In response to BT Redcare's recent announcement that it will be closing its signalling service by August 2025, the BSIA, working with its members, is currently assessing the potential impact and implications of this decision. In the forthcoming days, we will be deciding upon which course of action the trade association will take on behalf of its affected members. The statement continues, "In the interim, we hope to reassure our members that we will provide relevant updates when we can, and also express our concern on how this decision will impact upon those at Redcare who provided these services for 30 years. Finally, the BSIA has said, "We will also be actively working with our industry stakeholders and will provide regular updates to the wider industry and relevant parties on any appropriate action we determine to pursue." Our next guest on this edition is Howard Lang, the recently appointed President and CEO at Gunnebo Entrance Control. Howard joined the business from Johnson Controls Hitachi Air Conditioning, where he served as Head of Global Sales and Marketing. In times past, Howard has also held senior positions at the Sulzer Corporation and Hilti AG. A graduate in civil engineering from Leeds University and also the holder of a marketing degree from Hull University, Howard is a member of the Gunnebo Group executive team and currently tasked with driving growth in line with company strategy. On this occasion, Howard covers numerous topics, including connected gate solutions and the evolution of entrance control technology. Welcome to the podcast, Howard. In the era of smart buildings, how do connected gates redefine the landscape of entrance control, and what role do they play in enhancing overall security, in your opinion?
Well, all Gunnebo gates now are internet ready, which offers users new possibilities, through our cloud solutions. And that's something that's already standard in the airport gate world. And we can bring those same benefits to the commercial buildings area and other sectors. So that technology allows users really to it allows real-time monitoring. So security personnel can monitor and respond to suspicious activity or unusual patterns. It also allows remote control. So quick response, to incidents or, to make changes in security protocols. That's very useful actually for large or multi-location buildings. And also allows an improvement of the service quality. So allows the service provider, in most cases that's us, for our equipment, to be proactive. So, with preventative maintenance and rapid response, to keep the uptime high. And I think maybe a further area is on energy efficiency. So, this connectivity allows us also to connect with building management systems, BMS. And so you can also influence the HVAC lighting based on occupancy, because the entrance gates give a much simpler and reliable occupancy measure than any array of room sensors can do. So I think there's quite a lot of capability that now bringing data out of these gates and combining it with smart systems in buildings can be really valuable.
With connected gates providing valuable data on people flow and diagnostics, how does Gunnebo Entrance Control leverage this information to enhance the efficiency and security of entrances?
Well, the information can be leveraged in many ways. First of all, I would point to multi-site support. So many of our customers operate multiple sites, multiple locations. So the data can be aggregated, for centralized monitoring. You can leverage it also for insights, for efficient resource allocation, looking at traffic patterns, occupancy levels, and making use out of those insights. Monitoring occupancy and controlling the occupancy is also important. If certain areas are overcrowded, you can even block the entrance. And I think another area is enhancing the user experience. So identifying where there are particular bottlenecks and modifying the flow of the entrances accordingly. And as we get more and more usage data out of the gates, the ability to do predictive maintenance increases. So we're already getting quite a lot of notifications, alarms already out of the products, which is very helpful for preventative maintenance. But there's still a way to go to get towards even predictive maintenance.
Now, plug-and-play solutions are often associated with flexibility and also ease of installation. How does Gunnebo cater for the needs of small buildings, in turn ensuring a seamless integration of entrance control systems?
Well, we see a definite trend towards securing entrances for single floors or smaller offices, areas which maybe weren't protected before. As users, they want more flexible office space. They want to replace receptionists or guards to enhance the protection, enhancing the security to make staff feel more secure or part of an information security certification process, or to stop tailgating. I mean, regular doors, tailgating through the doors, people following people through open doors, is a problem also in smaller locations. So what we see for these smaller projects that end users and integrators are looking really to simplify. Our office here in the UK is a good example. We have a speed gate at our entrance with a facial recognition system actually on the gate, so it's very fast. We register users right there. It's simple to use, and we see a growing demand for those kind of plug and play solutions where we're able to integrate already the different types of readers and deliver the product with the fully integrated with a reader system as well.
With the rising challenges posed by climb over and push through attempts, Howard, could you highlight the high security features integrated within your entrance control solutions to address these concerns?
Gunnebo is a security company, and we pride ourselves on providing really security products to keep people safe. So not just for decoration of the lobby, which gates which can be stepped over or pushed open. So there are many important security features in addition to what you call the core security of detection and making sure there's only one validated person passing, so the anti-tailgating detection. But on top of that, we've got a number of systems to prevent people climbing over. So ranging from climb over detection, where we can detect people climbing onto the gates. We can also detect that they've actually climbed over and not just attempted to climb over, so alarm accordingly. We have a number of systems to prevent gates being pushed open or forced open, locks on those gates, and detection of those kind of attempts. We also offer a full panel sliding speed gate for a higher security level. Obviously, it's much more difficult to force open a sliding gate rather than push through more a swing type gate. So they do offer a higher level of protection. They close faster after the passage of a person. So it also offers higher tailgating protection. So where security is really important, our advice is normally to use the full panel sliding speed gate. And all our gates have protection for crawling under. So the gap between the gate and the floor to stop those kind of attempts, and sensors as well to stop that. So there's a lot of features. And for really high security, we also offer security revolving doors and portals, which really eliminate all possibilities of fraud, tailgating, climb over, crawl under, and even with attack resistance as well, up to an RC4 level to protect against attack.
Historic buildings often present somewhat unique challenges in terms of integrating modern security without compromising on architectural integrity. What's the process for tailoring security solutions to historically unprotected environments, Howard?
Well, aesthetics are important. So our products are architectural products as well as security solutions. And we have a lot of experience in adding that kind of protection to historical buildings, big government buildings, museums, institutions, where there's also a need to customize to the interior design. So we work very closely with architects and designers and have a number of coatings, custom materials, bronze, etching on the glass, these kind of things, and the flexibility in our manufacturing facilities to cope with this kind of customizing. What we also offer is we use virtual reality tools, which produce a render on site as you're looking at the location to visualize really how the solution can look, and we can change that. So that's very useful for visualizing the architectural impact of the products. And then in addition, we've got a number of innovative solutions to cabling, because cabling is often a topic where you want to install something in a historic building. You don't want to damage the existing floor. So historic buildings really are an important segment for us. We do a lot of projects in this space, and there are a lot of buildings which are previously considered as kind of open to the public, which on reassessment, do need some entrance security protection.
And certainly environments, as you said there, Howard, are evolving to require enhanced security. How does Gunnebo Entrance Control identify and address these emerging security segments? Could you perhaps share some examples of successful implementations in such dynamic environments for us?
Yeah, no, it's really encouraging to see solutions like ours for securing people flow used in segments which were previously unprotected or reliant on guards, and obviously exposed to tailgating, maybe through an open door. For example, hospitals, schools, universities. We're doing a number of very large projects actually in this area to upgrade the security of those kind of buildings. Hospitals are a good example. A lot of hospitals are quite open, including many sensitive areas and many exposed areas. So as risk assessments strengthen, security awareness strengthens, there are new segments actually growing for our products. Another interesting area actually is retail. Strengthening protection against shoplifting and even invasion, and paid access. So even for restrooms. And these systems have a very rapid payback if you think about highway service stations, fast food chains adopting that as well. Yeah, so a lot of new segments actually emerging for our kind of products.
And how do you feel the evolution of entrance control technology has aligned with the changing needs and expectations of the company's diverse customer base, Howard?
Well, Gunnebo has the advantage of being the industry leader, and we operate with production facilities in all continents. So we keep our eyes and ears very much open, talk to a lot of customers every day. And there's certainly some very interesting common themes and regional trends in terms of customer requirements, which we pick up on and obviously adapt to. Several examples I would point to. I mean, first of all, and we talked about it before, the general trend towards higher security. I think particularly driven by more instability, unrest globally, and a heightened focus on information security and the role that physical security has in this. So we see demand for products with I would say a real security capability rather than more a decorative element in the lobby. And global customers really setting meaningful security standards across all their facilities, specifying higher security features like we talked about before, right? Climb over protection, increased barrier height, etc. I think the shortage of guards and receptionists, gate agents in airports again is pushing the need for higher automation levels, higher security levels, so less supervision. Another trend that we clearly see, as well as ease of use. So customers are looking for better visual guidance to increase the flow rate of users going through gates, so showing them which lanes to approach, where to badge, etc. So you'll see some new products coming from Gunnebo with very cool features that react to people as they approach and guide them. And I think the last trend I would point to is the importance of service capability, particularly to conduct regular safety inspections, to do preventative maintenance, obviously to avoid any risk of blocking access, and to have a rapid response from an expert technician from the actual manufacturer. So this is an area where we already stand out and where we're further investing.
In what ways does the business collaborate with industry partners to anticipate future security needs and also devise smart solutions?
Well, we recognize that security is a team effort. It involves building owners, tenants, their advisors like security consultants, facility management, integrators, contractors, and obviously the technology and service providers like ourselves. So it's almost always a team effort. In that sense, collaboration is in our DNA. It's the nature of the business. So we collaborate first and foremost with our end user customers, advising them on product selection, integration, customizing, and the overall security concept. And also, I think a key interface is our products with the access control system. So from an integration point of view, we're agnostic to the type of reader or the access control system. And being system neutral gives us an advantage, I think, against a number of competitors who push their own system. Integration, can be done very easily, and even through software integration. And I think in addition to that, we work with quite a number of technology companies, universities, institutes on technology, the latest technology for sensing, AI software, safety systems, really to ensure that we stay ahead and we can really leverage the latest technology for the benefit of customers. I think it's still a fascinating technology field, and many interesting new possibilities actually through technology to make these products even better, even stronger.
And given that the security landscape is continually evolving, Howard, what trends do you foresee in the entrance control sector, and how is Gunnebo poised to remain at the forefront of this progression?
Well, I think we've already talked about a number of industry trends. I think one final one to point to is the growing acceptance of biometrics for access control versus cards. I mean, cards get lost, they're expensive, surprisingly difficult actually to manage for visitors. So we're doing quite a number of upgrade projects, to move from cards to touchless fingerprint readers and modifying our gates accordingly. So this, and with NFC or using the phones as the ID, I think will definitely become more prevalent. And the latest systems are very fast to respond. And combined with a Gunnebo gate, they offer a great user experience.
The British Retail Consortium's Retail Crime Survey for 2022-2023 highlights that the cost of retail theft has doubled to £1.8 billion, with upwards of 45,000 incidents occurring every day. Violence and abuse against retail workers has soared by 50%. The number of incidents, in fact, rose to 1,300 per day during the survey period from almost 870 the year before. According to the BRC, this prevailing situation is now a crisis that demands action. These worrying figures emerge despite retailers having invested heavily in crime prevention, spending no less than £1.2 billion on measures such as CCTV, increased numbers of security personnel, and the introduction of body-worn cameras. Overall spend on security measures is up from £722 million when compared to the previous review period. Further, the aforementioned total cost of theft to retailers escalating to £1.8 billion from £953 million the previous year effectively means that the total cost of crime to retailers now stands at no less than £3.3 billion. That's double the previous year's figure. The BRC's annual retail crime survey highlights the scale of violence and abuse faced by individuals working in the sector. Incidents including racial abuse, sexual harassment, physical assault and threats with weapons are now on a par with the levels witnessed during the COVID-19 pandemic. During that period, retail staff bore the brunt of frustrations with COVID-related safety measures put in place by the government. While the total number of incidents climbed, dissatisfaction with the police service has increased. 60% of survey respondents have described the police service response to incidents as either poor or very poor in nature. Retailers are now calling on the government to introduce a standalone offence of assaulting, threatening or abusing a retail worker. This would send a clear message that such forms of behaviour will not be tolerated, in turn making retail personnel feel safer in the workplace. It would also mean the police service can call upon collated data that allows them to understand the scale of the issue and then allocate sufficient resources to deal with it. This would ensure that retail workers have the same protections under the law as they do in Scotland, where a similar offence was introduced back in 2021. Helen Dickinson OBE, CEO of the BRC, has said, despite retailers investing huge sums of money in crime prevention, violence and abuse against retail workers is climbing. With over 1,300 incidents every day, government can no longer ignore the plight of ordinary hard-working retail colleagues, including teenagers taking on their first job, carers looking for part-time work, or parents working around childcare arrangements. While the violence can be over in a moment, the victims carry these experiences with them for a lifetime. We all know the impact doesn't stop there either. It affects their colleagues, friends and their families, whom they go home to every day and night. This is a crisis that demands action now. Dickinson added, criminals are being given a free pass to steal goods and abuse and assault retail colleagues. No one should have to go to work fearing for their safety. The Protection of Workers Act in Scotland already provides additional protection for retail staff, so why should our hard-working colleagues south of the border be offered less protection? It's absolutely vital that government takes action and brings forward the new standalone offence of assaulting or abusing a retail worker. Katie Bourne, OBE, Police and Crime Commissioner for Sussex and the Association of Police and Crime Commissioners lead on business crime, observed, "The levels of retail crime described in this report reveal an unprecedented level of selfish lawlessness. Every day, retail staff are facing the consequences of shoplifters' brazen behaviour. That's precisely why I have supported the call for a specific offence of assault on a shop worker." Bourne concluded, "Our courts need to work more efficiently and shoplifters need to be deterred from re-offending. My fellow police and crime commissioners must focus their police forces on tackling shoplifting by making it a priority in their local police and crime plans." Jason Towles, Managing Director for Business Services at Mitie, has issued detailed comment on the BRC's latest retail crime survey results. "The new figures show there are now 1,300 violent and abusive incidents against shop workers per day," asserted Towles, which is up from 837 in the previous year. Over the course of the year, that's 475,000 individuals who faced physical or psychological harm just by going to work. This is beyond unacceptable. Towles went on to state, "Nobody should be faced with violence at work. The proposed amendment to the Criminal Justice Bill that would introduce a standalone offence of assaulting, threatening or abusing a retail worker must be supported as a clear signal that violence will not be tolerated." According to Towles, amending the Criminal Justice Bill alone is just one element in a package of solutions. With multiple drivers for retail crime, he said, "we need a consistent and multi-layered approach to stamp it out. Criminals are constantly evolving their techniques. As such, it follows that the retail industry must do the same if it's to gain the edge over offenders." A new initiative launched late last year, Pegasus, brings together a powerful combination of industry-leading technology with highly trained specialists. Through Pegasus, the sharing of anonymised information between 13 retailers, including Boots, Marks and Spencer and the Co-op, is already starting to build a bigger picture of retail crime across the UK. Crime hotspots and patterns can be mapped and valuable data provided for the police service. An organised crime gang, for example, can be tracked from Liverpool to Leicester and on to Llandudno. In conclusion, Towles affirmed, "For retailers, the security industry, the police and the government, it's important that we continue to collaborate in order to fight retail crime. Otherwise, we'll surely find ourselves looking at a further increase over the next 12 months. We cannot let that happen. Our retail workers and their families deserve far better. Shoplifting is not a victimless crime." Our final guest on episode 30 is Ric Martin, the CEO of Pinnacle Systems, the specialist provider of an open integration platform for the electronic security market. Formerly the lead engineer and security manager at Century International, Ric has also served as technical and operations manager for Century Secure. A member of the Security Institute, Ric began his current role at Pinnacle Systems in July 2022. The company's core mission is keenly focused on developing an open, multi-site integration system, complete with a centralized fault management platform that's truly versatile, adaptable and effective. In tandem with offering an overview of the business, Ric covers Internet of Things and cloud technology and also concentrates on key trends that are shaping the security industry at present.
Welcome to the Security Matters podcast, Ric. First of all, could you provide a brief overview of Pinnacle Systems as a business and also outline the company's core values and mission statement?
Pinnacle Systems, we're a new form of technology coming to the security market. We're a blend between a PSM and alarm monitoring software. What I mean by that is we're a hybrid solution. So we have an on-prem server and client running, which is talking to all your hardware on site. So we're capturing all the real-time data, but we're also lifting it up to the cloud as well. So we can push alarms and faults and things up to the cloud portals. So people have got multi-sites. They can monitor and control all the sites. So you're kind of getting a bit of best of both worlds from that. I mean, our main focus is around real-time data and connecting that data together. And I'd say our mission, there's lots of really good products and solutions out there in the market, not just CCTV, intruder, fire, I'm talking about, like face tech, facial recognition technologies, IoT sensors, perimeter systems. So we're looking to bring all these solutions together into one place and really start connecting all these different data points together to hopefully improve safety, security, and bring more of a focus onto what's actually going on. I'd say our vision is to build like a digital ecosystem that's bringing all this technology together, but in a very simple, easy manner, because there are solutions out there, but some of them can be quite complicated and need quite a lot of training, and we kind of want to move away from that. So just people can just improve safety, security, and hopefully start bringing ROI for like loss prevention, efficient resourcing. and even start looking in sort of, like energy saving solutions and things like that, because we are, our product is always listening. I'd say one of the main points.
And Pinnacle Systems wants to be known as an open integration platform. How does the company intend to build on its existing integration partner relationships? And can you share any detail on recent advancements in this area?
Yeah, sure. So, we're all about relationships, and we've spent quite a bit of time speaking to manufacturers over the last 18 months, 2 years. And that's not just with core systems like CCTV, access, intruder, and fire. We've been speaking to again, like I say, with face recognition systems, smoke generation systems. Everyone seems quite open to what we're doing, and the availability of SDKs and APIs, makes our product viable, because everyone wants this connected sort of solution. So we're just going to continue doing that. And in terms of sort of recent advancements and developments, and one of the things we've recently done, which was pretty cool actually, is vape detection. So with the schools, I think that's quite a big problem at the minute. So we've integrated a vape detection unit with an installer we're working with. We've also done some integration with shelf detection in the retail market with another installer. One of the fog generators turned up, just put that onto the wall. So we want to keep on with the core stuff, but having a focus on the more specialist and more obscure systems, I think is something we're going to be concentrating quite a lot over the next year.
How is Pinnacle Systems navigating the ever-evolving landscape of security, inclusive of the Internet of Things and also cloud technology?
We're trying to keep this product very, very versatile. Rather than being completely security focused, we want people to be able to come in and just plug into the system whatever they want. It could be refrigeration monitoring, or like an industrial conveyor belt fault system or something. Someone should be able to come along, we'll do the integration, plug it into the system, and then all of a sudden that's into our kind of ecosystem. We can generate alarms from that. We can start linking that through to cameras. All of a sudden it becomes more than just a security product. And that's come through, speaking to installers, end users, and just listening to their needs. We love a conversation over at Pinnacle. Rather than just building something and saying this is what we've got, go for. We're kind of saying, look, this is where we're at, this is where we're going. What's your ideas? What's your concepts? And we found people are very, very receptive to that. And then with the cloud side of things, because we are doing a hybrid solution, we're kind of getting the best of both worlds on this, because we got our on-site solution, which is very lightweight. It runs on a little NUC, 16 gig of RAM. We probably will be down to an appliance later on in 2024. But we've got, we're down on the ground, but then we've got the cloud solution. So we've just got this best of both worlds. We can talk to additional hardware. If the internet's down, everything on site is still going to operate. The internet comes back up. All the data is getting pushed back up. And then from the cloud side, if you can log into the portal, you can go to each site, you can see what's going on real time with mapping, control the system. So again, this is why we're quite impressed with what we've built.
How do you foresee the integration of data and surveillance images driving greater efficiencies in the modern world, Ric?
So, I mean, data is extremely useful. It's so important just for decision makings and just improving things. There's the age-old thing: you do something and you should look at analysing it, not just see what's gone wrong, but see what's gone well at the same time, and then that drives more improvements and efficiencies. But if we can link this data back through to CCTV images, then all of a sudden it becomes even more useful, because rather than just looking at a load of data points, you can see what was happening at the same time. So whether that's looking at people counting, or industrial plant alarms, refrigeration, or environmental systems, if you can look at this data and actually look at some cameras, go, oh, right, okay, there was a load of people stood there, or noise violation on some environmental sensors data. Oh, right, there was some there's more plant in that area than there should have been. So that's kind of like where we're going with the platform to help improve safety and security.
What trends do you see shaping the industry at the moment, and how is Pinnacle Systems addressing the challenges they realise?
I mean, one big thing in a minute is the uprising of AI and machine learning. I mean, this is something that's quite sort of close to my heart. I think it's going to change the shape of security. It's such a powerful thing. Humans are very good at analysing data and changing stuff with that, but obviously AI machine learning will just improve this just vastly. So that's something we are going to be looking to do with Pinnacle. We're already exploring options, and this is where our captured real-time data is really going to accelerate this for us. We can start looking at even just from basic points of anomaly detection for faults. Just knowing that something usually is triggering, but all of a sudden it's stopped or maybe triggering too much. We can start looking at improving sort of safety and security because we can monitor things. The AI can be running and learns what's normal. But we can also start looking at predictive things as well. How people move through buildings, riot predictions. There's a whole host of things that I think is going to come out over the next couple of years with AI machine learning. So I'm really, really excited about that, and it's something that us at Pinnacle are going to be concentrating on and really trying to push forward.
And last but not least, Ric, what's the vision for Pinnacle Systems in its launch year and also in times ahead?
I mean, the main thing is we're going to keep listening to people and we're going to keep integrating. Our product is we're an integration platform. We haven't got a VMS to worry about. We haven't got an access control system to worry about. All we've got to worry about is doing integrations, doing them well, bringing features, just listening to people. It's what's got us to the point we are today, and it's something we'll continue. And then in terms of the vision, like I was touching on with the AI machine learning, we're just going to be heavily exploring that through 2024 and onwards.
That brings us to the end of this edition of the Security Matters podcast. Many thanks indeed to Barrie Millett of Mitie, Howard Lang from Gunnebo, and also Pinnacle Systems CEO Ric Martin for their highly valued contributions. Many thanks also to our podcast sponsor, The Security Event. The Security Event runs from the 30th of April until the 2nd of May 2024 at the NEC in Birmingham. To register for the show, visit www.thesecurityevent.co.uk. Don't forget to visit our website at www.securitymattersmagazine.com, where you can access all of our podcasts and also read the latest news and opinion from the security business sector. You can view our dedicated features content and also sign up to receive our very popular weekly e-news bulletin. Please do contact us if there are any key themes or issues you would like us to explore on upcoming editions of the podcast. You can do so on X, formerly Twitter of course, by using the hashtag SecurityPod. On that note, make sure you follow us on X at WBMSecMatters and access our LinkedIn page at Security Matters Magazine and website. Please do like and share the podcast content and spread the word among your industry colleagues. You can listen to the Security Matters podcast for free on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube or Podbean. To download the podcast on iTunes or Spotify, all you need to do is enter the term Security Matters into your chosen platform search box. We'll see you next time.